We're back again to play some games way about Cupid Parasite, and let's just jump back in. I know it's been a minute, but you know, I like to mess around. I like to lollygag. I like to lollygag. Y'all know that. I'm home. Are you home though? Shelby, are you home? After the welcome party was over. Oh yeah, what's his name? It's, give me a second. Peter. Peter joined the company as Mr. Shelby's new, secretary. And he's surprisingly good at the job. Surprisingly. After the welcome party was over. Oh, and, what's his name? I forget. Owen. Owen is acting weird. Very weird. We might have to fire him. I don't know. After the welcome party was over, everyone wanted to head off somewhere for round 2. Nah. I politely declined and headed home. It's pretty late. I wonder if Mr. Snail is back yet. Probably not. We'll be lucky if he is. Oh, he's asleep. I never seen him sleep before. I should take a picture. Snap a photo. That's creepy. So it was nice to see that was something he actually did. I want to take a bath, but I'll have to make sure I'm quiet so I don't wake him up. But a little later, he woke back up.
Ah, 帰っていたのか.
Why are you awake? Also, my music is really loud. Go back to sleep. Oh, you're back. After getting out of the bath, I saw Mr. Snail standing there wearing a full suit. Golly. I'm sorry, did I wake you up?
いや、もともとこの時間に起きるつもりでアラームをかけていた。気にするな。
Dude, go back to sleep. What time is it? 3 a.m.? 2 a.m.? No, not at all. I already had an alarm set, so you don't need to worry. But it's 12:30. That's not too late. But it's 12:30 in the morning.
なあ、今日は早くに帰れたので先に仮眠を取ることにしたんだ。また仕事に戻る。
A nap, he says. A nap. Yes. I managed to get home early today and decided to take a nap. So now I'm headed back to the office. Looking at his watch, Mr. Stay! Please, with me. I'm not enjoying this marriage, Shelby. Looking at his watch, Mr. Snail turned and prepared to leave. Before he could, I grabbed his shoulders firmly from behind. Please wait. Say it, girl, say it.
どうした?
What is it? Even though it's just an act, we're supposed to be husband and wife right now, right?
いや、まあ、多少語弊はあるが。
He can barely talk. Stay with me. Well, I'm not sure I would put it that way exactly, but when we have those dinner parties, it's meant to look like we're married, right?
ああ、随分と助かっている。
Yes, I suppose. And you've been very helpful in those instances. I know I am. And we don't know when we might get exposed. We should spend as much time as we can to make it seem like you really have a wife.
どういう意味だ?
What do you mean? I mean, let's act like a couple. Let's be lovey-dovey. A truly devoted husband wouldn't run off to work in the middle of the night and completely ignore his wife like this. Spend some time with me. We can turn on the TV. We can watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't know if those seasons are still on. I don't watch that show. You know. We can watch reruns of Parasite House. Me and you.
だが、そうした余計なことに時間を割きたくないから、この年まで独身できた。
The entire reason I've remained single up till now is because I don't want to have to do things like that. I understand. In that case, it would be best if we removed you from our company's membership.
どういうことだ?
What are you talking about? You can't expect to ever get married, with such a selfish way of thinking. I folded my arms across my chest and looked straight into his eyes. I knew how brazen I was being, but I felt it needed saying. If you really do want to get married, you need to show a little bit of effort. Compromise is a necessary part of marriage. Sir, you're officially still registered as a member, which means you do intend on getting married. Is that correct?
無論だ。
Of course. And I've been searching every day for someone who can keep a secret and support a husband she knows she'll never get to see. But that woman just doesn't exist. And if she does, she's not interested in marriage. You're demanding a life without a husband.
そうだな。お前の言う通りだ。
I know I'm right. Yes, you're completely right. So all you can do is find a wife who knows about your circumstances and is still willing to help. Do you know anyone like that?
いや、いないな。
Me. No. No, I do not. Right. Then your only option is to have me keep on pretending to be your wife instead. Exactly. But one person alone can't do things that a husband and wife should be doing together. I can't keep up this act all by myself.
夫婦らしい
Yeah,
こと。
that's what we are. Husband and wife? Remember that dinner party the other day? They said we didn't act like we've been married for 4 years.
おやまあ、奥さんは随分と遠慮しいですな。もっと奥さんを甘やかしてあげてはどうですかな、シェルビー君。
Good heavens. Your wife is quite reserved, isn't she? I think maybe you need to give her a little more attention, Shelby.
でも初々しくて可愛らしいよ。結婚して4年も経ってるのに新婚みたいで羨ましいこと。
See, this is why we need to act lovey-dovey. I find their innocence charming. Even after 4 years, they act like shy newlyweds. Frankly, I'm a little jealous.
でもきっと2人きりの時はもっと仲睦まじく暮らしてらっしゃるんでしょ。愛妻家であるシェルビーさんですもの。
I'm sure you're much closer when you're alone, right, Shelby? I mean, we're all familiar with that reputation of yours. The doting husband. Not so much. I was sure I messed everything up that night. I was clearly treating you like my employer instead of my husband. If we want to play our roles properly, it would be best if we could make time to talk to each other. What do you think?
いや、全くもってお前
So
の
you
言う
don't
通り
stay
だ。
home?
むしろ手伝ってもらっている立場なのに、お前にそこまで気を使わせてすまないな。
You're right, of course. You're the one doing me this huge favor, and I've been completely selfish. I'm sorry. Thank you. You don't need to apologize. I accept that this is part of my job. I was nervous about saying all that, but I'm glad I did.
仕事か。確かにそうだな。
Part of your job? Yes. That much is certainly true. For some reason, he suddenly looked happy. I guess thinking about this whole thing as work might have changed his perspective on it.
わかった。時間の使い方については再考しよう。そうだな。せめて朝食を一緒にとるようにするか。食事は私が作ろう。
I want more than just that. I want to go on a date. Our last date. Our last date. Our last date. Sucked. Because it was with Owen. Alright then, let me think. How about we have breakfast together from now on? I'll even cook. Huh? You can cook?
意外か？だが大学時代は毎日作っていた。心配するな。
Why are you so surprised? I used to cook for myself every day back in college. There's nothing to worry about there. Who wouldn't be surprised? I've never seen him do anything close to cooking. I know all you drink is jelly drinks. I couldn't even imagine it. But if he'd been cooking since college, I figured it would probably be fine. A husband that can cook for his wife would definitely earn the title of devoted. I nodded at him, deciding it was best to go along with his plan. Great. Then let's do that. We'll eat breakfast together every morning. My husband,
旦那様は勘弁してくれ。
You really don't have to call me that. But I want to. That was the kind of exchange real newlyweds should have. I decided we should get through this awkward phase as fast as possible. But it's not like we can start going on dates or anything. If anyone sees us, it'd make it harder for him to find a real wife. Ugh, oh my God, damn. This really is a pretty tough challenge.
では朝食の件は明日の朝から実施するとしよう。スケジュールに入れておく。
Anyway, let's implement this breakfast plan starting tomorrow. I'll add it to my schedule. When you say morning, what time is your morning? Also, our mission aside, why don't we try and take some time off to relax? You did just hire another secretary after all. It didn't have to be with me, of course. I just want him to spend some time with himself. But he just stared at me curiously.
せっかく時間が空いたんだ。ならばもっと会社を成長させるためにその余力を使うべきだろう。
I do have some more time, thanks to my new secretary. But I need to use that time to keep growing the company. But doesn't it even occur to you to use your extra time to, you know, rest and take it easy for a bit?
休んでどうする？何も生み出されないだろう。
What do I gain from resting? Taking it easy never created anything. I disagree. No, it doesn't create anything, but don't you ever feel like watching a movie or going shopping, stuff like that?
したいこと。
Stuff like that? He repeated what I said as if the entire concept was completely alien to him.
特に思いつくものはないな。強いて言えば今の地位を守り、より高みを目指すことぐらいか。
I can't really think of anything. If I had to pick something, I want to reach even greater heights to protect my status. There he goes again with that obsession of his. Why do you care so much about status and prestige and all that?
どうしても何も。
What do you mean?
男なんて地位がなければいけない生き物だろ。
What an odd question. A man has nothing without his prestige. The way he said it was so matter of fact. I didn't know how to respond and missed my chance to say anything at all. As a god, the desire to boost one's status was completely foreign to me. I saw no value in it. I guess it was different for humans. Now that I think about it, my promotion is my top priority right now too. My reason for that was so that I could prove my dad wrong, and I was taking advantage of human social systems to do it. The other gods might not understand this concept of status, but I feel like I was starting to get it. But the way he talks about prestige still sounds off somehow. It might be important, but it couldn't be everything. The loving relationship between two people working together to realize the life of joy they want to live together. Ultimately, prestige and status couldn't be that important. I've seen so many couples from Celestia. I knew that much.
私はただ必要最低限の努力をしているだけだ。
Straight.
完璧になるために手を抜いている暇はない。
Even now, I'm hardly doing the bare minimum I need in order to achieve that. I won't stop until I perfected it.
だいたい私はまだまだ努力が足りていない。これで満足しているようではダメだ。一人前の男になどなれない。
Shelby, have you ever thought about therapy? I'm still not putting in nearly enough effort, so I refuse to be satisfied. I'll never become a proper man this way. What? You're not putting in enough effort? Do you seriously believe that?
当然だろう。我が社はまだ発展途上だ。確かに業界内では1位だが、それだけではダメだ。
Of course. The company is still in its infancy. We might be at the top of the industry for now, but that's not enough. I have to utilize every possible business opportunity to become the undisputed best in Lost York, and eventually the entire nation. Golly. He's got a grand vision, that's for sure. I see. I think I understand how you feel, but when you do reach the top, what then? What then? Is there something specific you want to do once you get there? But when I asked him that question, he stared at me for a second, frowned, and then his gaze wavered.
トップになってか。
Once I reached the top?
そうだな。そうなってようやく私は男として一人前になれる
So
んだ。
where does that come from? Who told you you weren't a man? Then I suppose I can finally call myself a real man. I think you're a real man already. And a wonderful one at that.
まさかこんな中途半端な状態ではダメだ。第一、結婚相手さえ見つけられていない。この程度の地位では不満ということだろう。
Impossible. I'm not even close. After all, I haven't even found a partner, which means my status isn't enough to satisfy them yet. No, I don't think that's it. The reason you haven't found a wife isn't because of some abstract idea of status.
だが4年より以前はどうだ。独り身だったが、それでも誰も寄りつかなかった。
But what about 4 years ago, when everyone knew I was single? Still not one single woman approached me. With a self-depreciating smile on his lips, he picked up his work bag. It was clear the conversation was over.
では、行ってくる。
You're awkward, that's why. You're awkward. And always busy, so no woman's gonna approach you. Anyway, I'm off. Why don't we schedule breakfast for 7 a.m.? Okay, that should work for me.
わかった。
Excellent. With that curt reply, he was gone. Was that an argument or not? Were we arguing? In the end, he still chose work over everything else. I looked at the clock. Going into work at this hour was weird, no matter how you looked at it. He really was a prestige parasite. I heard the phrase work-life balance a lot in human media, and it always made me think of Mr. Snail. He does not have a work-life balance. He does not have a good work-life balance. Just work, 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 work. Every day, 24/7. The prestige parasite. I think this particular problem runs especially deep. I don't know what he was like when he was younger, but I find it's hard to believe he's always been this way. I decided that I should try to get to the bottom of why he was fixated on prestige and status next time I got the chance. For now, though, it was time for bed. It had been a long night of drinking and socializing, and I was completely beat. I sure wish Chi was here to give me one of those incredible massages. Chi had been disappearing at random pretty often lately. He was pretty shy, so maybe he didn't like me living with Mr. Snail. I resolved to pay him some extra attention next time I saw him, then head to my room to get some sleep. Oh, he's cooking for me! How many years had it been since I eaten a proper breakfast? I cooked for myself all through college to save money, but since starting the company, I never really thought much about food. I'm wondering, since he's so obsessed with status, do you think he came from a poor family? And you know, all that jazz that comes with that? And people judging him for not being, you know, rich or with money, I don't know. I always had to be SS in everything. Even when it came to cooking. It all had to be perfect. But why did I feel so nervous this morning? Is it because I never cooked for someone else before?
まさかこの年になって自分の作った料理を誰かに食べてもらうことになるとはな。
It's weird to think that this is my first time cooking for someone at my age. Just having someone else in my life makes me feel a little restless. I guess that's part of what people consider being married. I hate feeling like this, which is precisely why I've avoided marriage or any personal relationships. But this has to succeed.
もう二度と会食相手にぎこちないと思わせてはいけない。分かっているんだが。
I absolutely cannot allow any client at any future dinner party to get the impression our relationship is awkward in any way. Even in that moment, I was completely focused on that woman who was still asleep in her bedroom. I wondered if she enjoyed my breakfast, or if perhaps she laughed at the state of my culinary skills. In work and everything else in my life, I've been confident in the results. I've never been so unsure of an outcome before now. When it comes to food, everyone has their own opinion. There's no objective way to measure success, which made me incredibly nervous. I couldn't help but laugh at myself for being such a coward. You don't gotta worry about that, Shelby. I'm a foodie. I eat almost everything.
正直、今の生活は理想だが。
To be honest, the lifestyle I'm living right now is essentially my ideal situation. She only says what needs saying, and she plays her role perfectly at social events. I wish actual married life could be like this. Of course, I only feel comfortable because I know it's just a job for the both of us. An actual marriage wouldn't be so simple. If it really isn't possible for me to achieve this kind of married life, I'll have no choice to announce it eventually.
損失を被ると分かっていても、長期的に見れば、その方がいいに決まっている。
I know the company will suffer setbacks as a result, but it's the right choice in the long run. If I keep letting her be involved, eventually it will become completely dependent. Eventually I'll become completely dependent on her, and her own life choices will be taken away. She's only been at the company for 2 years, and she has a bright future ahead of her. She may even fall in love herself someday. She says that will never happen, but that's just her youth talking. I can't force her to do this forever.
だが、
And yet, I'm still taking advantage of her kindness because I hope you're not burning the food. All this talking in your head, please don't burn the food. I'm still taking advantage of her kindness because I know she's truly worried about the company and would do anything to protect it. Last night, she kept me from going to work in order to improve our relationship. She knew it would be hard, but she did it anyway. Even among friends, it's hard to say things like that. And I'm the company president. What other employee would be so brave? But she said exactly what needed to be said. I don't know how to express how thankful I am to her. So will you stay home more often? If I made an announcement without telling her, it would be a complete betrayal of her and all the work she's done.
私にできることといえば、彼女をねぎらうこと。そして、愛妻家というブランディングなど関係なくなるぐらい、我が社を成長させることか。
For now, all I can do is try to reward her efforts and grow the company even under the shadow of my lie. If only I had avoided this misunderstanding in the beginning, or at least got married when I should have. It's not as if I had no dating experience. Who you dated? Who? And it always ended in the most cliche way possible. What's more important, me or your work?
どうして女は矛盾したことを聞くんだ。私から地位がなくなればどうせ誰も見向きもしなくなるくせに。
Why are people always so insincere? If I ignored work and lost my status, they wouldn't have given me a second look. Every woman I met using my matching service said they wanted to be a president's wife. They approached because of my status. So I thought I had to protect my prestige and aim even higher, which just resulted in more ruined relationships. Why can't you understand how I'm feeling? Why can't we ever go out together? How many times have I heard those words? I feel like he's burning my food. Shelby, I feel like you're burning my food. Every time I heard things like that, I couldn't help but think they were only with me because of my status. I've always wondered, why do you care so much about status and prestige and all that?
逆に教えてくれ。どうしてお前は気にしないでいられるのか。
What I want to know is, Why do you not seem to care about those things at all? I heard sounds coming from her bedroom and turned in that direction. She must have been up and getting ready for the day. The image of her getting dressed popped into my mind. I pushed it away, but I couldn't feel my cheeks getting warmer. This wasn't like me.
とにかくそうだ夫婦のふりを有事に向けて完璧にするそのための朝食だ
Anyway, the important thing is to play the role of a happy couple perfectly. This breakfast is an important part of that. Now that she's awake, I should get started on the bacon and eggs. I pulled the eggs from the fridge earlier and grabbed 2 of them. 2 eggs, 2 people. Something about it made me uneasy. Is this what it means to be married? Even if it's technically fake? I'm still living the supposed married life. I shook my head and tried to rid myself of these unfamiliar emotions, but the warmth in my cheeks still lingered. Is the food ready? I'm hungry. I'm starving. Ah, good morning.
ああおはよう朝食できているぞ
Ah, good morning. Breakfast is served. Wow, you actually made it. Thank you so much. Well, I did promise, didn't I? Mr. Snell took off the apron he was wearing over his suit and brought me my breakfast from the kitchen. There was vegetable soup, bacon and eggs, toast with jam, fruit, and coffee. Oh wow, you really hooked it up. You're really chefing it up in the kitchen. Wow. It's a proper full breakfast, and it looks really delicious. I honestly had no idea you could cook like this.
すべて SS だからな
I don't know what that
どの
means.
授業でも手を抜いた
Stop
ことは
saying
ない
it to me. My SS status applies to everything. I put maximum effort into every single class I took. So even in cooking class, he aimed for SS status. It's really good.
そうか喜んでもらえて何よりだ
Is that so? I'm glad you like it. Mr. Snell's shoulders loosened, and he seemed relaxed a bit. I guess he was concerned about my reaction. This is a new sensation. He has an image of a perfect working man, so it was kind of cute when he cared so much about what I thought. After I'd taken a few more bites, he finally picked up his own fork and started eating. I'd be doing that too. When I cook something new, when I cook anything, I want you to take that bite right in front of me. You know, I'm watching your face like, do you like it? Is it nasty? Is it salty? Is it nasty? Did I burn it? You know, I'd be watching you. I'd be watching. After taking a few more bites, he finally picked up his own fork and started eating. You like it? You like it? But where's the conversation? I knew he always had a backlog of messages in the morning, but still. He was just eating while staring at his phone and tapping away to respond to his latest emails. Did you sleep well? Any dreams? Like, was it cold? Was it hot last night? Something. Give me something to work with. Last time I didn't look at his phone because there was a purpose to our conversation. With no clear goal this time, that didn't apply. It was nothing like being a married couple at all. We're like 2 coworkers sitting near each other in the cafeteria. Shelby. Oh yeah, Mr. Snail. Are we not on first name basis? Mr. Snail? Even as I said it, I caught myself. I suddenly realized that this was probably part of the problem. Shelby. There we go. Don't choke now. Just as I said his name, Mr. Snail seemed to choke.
いきなりなんだ
Why did you just say that? I'm sorry. I just thought it might help us seem more like an actual couple sharing breakfast. Should I go back to calling you Mr. Snail?
いやいや確かにお前の言う通りだ
No, you're right. He liked that. He was still coughing as he looked at me with a touch of embarrassment. After a moment, he sighed.
シェルビーでいいその呼び名に慣れていた方がいいだろう
Please, just call me Shelby. It's probably best that we get used to doing that. But watch me accidentally call you Shelby at work. I'd be like, Shelby! And everybody in the office is gonna stare at me like I'm crazy. Embarrassing. Great. So then, Shelby, what are your plans for dinner tonight?
今日はそうだなたまには夕飯も一緒に食べるか早く帰るようにしよう
Tonight? Let's see. We haven't had dinner together in a while. Why don't we come home early and we can eat together? You just earned 100 devoted husband points.
お前が完璧な理想の妻だからな私も努力をするだけだ
Well, it's only because you're the ideal wife. I have no choice but to try and keep up. He smiled at me as he continued to eat his breakfast. He said so naturally, it made my heart skip a beat. Huh? The ideal wife? Is that wedding bells I hear? Literally? It made me really happy to hear him say that. It meant I was doing my job well. Although, I'd be lying if I said that was the only reason. I'm just happy because I was able to impress such a perfectionist, right? Girl, you might be falling. You know, you don't get caught. Don't get Yeah, that has to be it. Whatever it was, I tried to push the feeling aside as I munched on my breakfast. The toast was light and crunchy. The toaster must be really expensive because our toast was always so tasty. But the toast this morning seemed even more delicious than the toast I made for myself yesterday. It's because someone else made it. He might put some love in it. He might have put a little bit of love in it. I'm sorry that I'm moving so much. It's because I decided to film for a long time today. So I figured if I move a lot and got comfortable, I'd be able to film longer. And it's working so far. I'm comfortable still. I'm just moving a lot though. I'm moving a lot, I know. What's going on over there? Threes. There you are. Oh, did I win? You know, the contest? The second anniversary contest? Third anniversary? There you are. I was wondering when you show up. What's going on? Clarice motioned me to come over, so I went to stand by the others. Several female employees started glaring at me. Haters! Where that one girl stepping my foot? Hater, where's she at? Oh my. I'm getting a sense of deja vu. Protect your feet!
なんでこんなのが通るのよ
How the heck did this get through? It was the same girl from the planning department. She stormed off and deliberately bumped into me on her way out. Girl, come back and face me. Come back. We fighting. With no clue what was going on, I made my way to the center of the crowd. But when I got there, my hand went to my mouth in surprise. I won! An announcement had been posted with the results of the competition. I was nervous, but slowly moved in closer. When I saw the names listed, I gasped. Among the finalists, I spotted my own name.
そうかお前の企画が通ったのか
So your plan made it through. Interesting.
ほうチャレンジ難易度星5料理で婚活かいいタイトルを考えたものだな
5-star challenge, cooking with fire. Wow, that's one heck of a title.
それにこの料理のチョイスも面白い審査員が褒めるだけあるな 決済時に改めて熟読させてもらう。
They like the example dish you chose too. Not that I'm surprised, anyway. I'll review it again for my final decision. I wouldn't have made it this far without your feedback. You were a huge help on this, so I want you to be the first one I told about it. Thank you so much. Not at all. It went through because of your efforts. You stayed up far too late to work on it, didn't you? Huh? You saw me?
たまに企画書をやりながらリビングのソファーで寝落ちしていただろう。部屋まで運んだこともあったが、覚えてないか？
I was working on another project and saw you pass out on the couch. In fact, I carried you to your room. Don't you remember? I assumed I just sleepwalked into my room. It never would have occurred to me that he'd carry me. Sorry. I honestly had no idea. That must have been a big pain for you.
いや、いい。仕事熱心なのは良いことだからな。
Of course you do.
それに、それだけの頑張りがあったからこそ、審査員に認められたのだろう。よく頑張ったな。
Never mind that. I respect that kind of diligence. And because of that, the judges were all impressed. Well done. Thank you. This makes me so happy. I can't deny that it feels good to have someone recognize your work. That's something that only happens among humans. Back to Celestia, connecting humans was simply expected of me. But if things went south, I never heard of the end of it. I'll be sure to keep working hard and help usher even more people into marriage.
ああ、頼りにしている。
Excellent. I'll be counting on you. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I chose a pretty unusual dish for our initial event, too. So I guess I better learn how to make it. But first of all, I need to figure out the location, since Cupid Corp doesn't have a kitchen on site. I chose a few candidates as soon as I started on the plan. Now I just have to go and negotiate with each of them. Well then, if you'll excuse me. When my elevator arrived, I gave a small bow and got on. As the doors closed, Mr. Snow gave me a quick wave before getting back to work. Starting today, my focus would be on bringing the new project to fruition. Oh wow. Okay. You know what? I think this is a good place to end it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media. It's all description below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.